If you've been watching our videos about pattern grammar, you may be wondering about the connections between pattern grammar and construction grammar. This video is going to discuss this. So let's look first at what constructions are. They are said to be a one-to-one mapping of form and meaning. And it's noted that the meaning of a construction can override the canonical meaning of the words in it. A famous example is "she smiled herself an upgrade," where smile doesn't usually mean make something happen, but in this construction it does. If we compare constructions and patterns, we notice that many observed constructions are also observed patterns. For example, verb one's way preposition, such as "a farmer managed to push his way through the crowds," is described as a construction and as a pattern. Verb someone into doing something, "she talked him into going to a cash point machine," is described both as a pattern and a construction. And verb something as something, these similarities have been interpreted as indicators that has been described as a pattern and as a construction. So are they the same thing? Well, not exactly. Constructions are mental constructs. They're intended to account for everything in language. A construction can be a single word, a unit of meaning, or a very abstract pattern. Grammar patterns, on the other hand, are observational constructs. They account for only some language entities and not for words or units of meaning. But patterns are useful as evidence for constructions because they're based on the observation of very large corpora. I'd like to suggest here 3 patterns that might be also constructions. Taking the pattern "it is adjective that," this might be the evaluative it construction. Or person is adjective that might be called the reactive that construction. And some instances of verb noun for noun might be said to be the consequential for construction. Let's look at these examples in more detail. Let's look at the evaluative it construction in more detail. This is the pattern "it is adjective that" clause, and the adjective always evaluates the content of the that clause. For example, "it is clear that," "it's important that," "it's interesting that," "it's likely that," and "it's possible that." Now we'll look at the reactive that construction. Here the subject of the clause is a person, and the adjective tells us what that person is feeling about the content of the that clause. So "he's afraid that," "few people are aware that," "we are confident that," "I'm disappointed that," and "I'm very happy that." The consequential for construction. Here the pattern is verb noun for noun, and some of the verbs that occur in this pattern tell us about something that happens and the consequence of it. For example, "he could blame his family for his predicament." He had a predicament and as a result he blamed his family. "She criticised the magazine for being too graphic." "I'll never forgive my mother for wrecking my marriage." "To punish him for not cooperating." "Reprimanded 3 officers for negligence, and they decided to reward me for my determination." So the Grammar Patterns publications provide a wealth of observational evidence, and these can be interpreted in terms of construction grammar. The 2 approaches to the grammar of English are compatible, although they're not identical. More information about grammar patterns is available on this channel, or go to the grammar section of collinsdictionary.com.